Hello and welcome. This is another cartoon from Hospital Radio Reading, this time featuring Sam. Now I'm just starting off by doing a quick watery wash and adding some cobalt blue and quinacridone gold, very weak, to the picture, mopping out some of the paint at the side there. Basically just to get a feeling and to get rid of the white of the paper at the start of this painting. This video is sped up by about 300%. I don't normally paint this quickly. Again, adding more colour there just to give a feeling to the painting, really, rather than any particular detail. We're using cobalt blue here as well, just mopping out. So, when Sam comes down to Hospital Radio, we like to include him in the show, and he likes to be part of the show. And in this particular cartoon, the feature was how far could you throw your paper aeroplane. That's how the feature started. It then turned into how far could we push Sam on a studio chair. I know, dangerous, but there you go. In the background there, I'm filling in the cups, working around the negative space, adding the dark at the tops of the shelves, using Windsor blue this time. It's a nice blue that sort of gives a nice sort of moves things back into the picture. It's a good colour for doing that. Adding some red now to make a sort of a grey to go between the cupboards and round the fridge. So, having successfully pushed Sam halfway across the studio and out into the kitchen, Sam then pronounced himself winner of all the competitions, as he was still holding his paper aeroplane, which he'd made, thus making that the furthest thing that had flown, because he then threw it into the hallway. I think he won on a technicality there. Moving into the picture again now, and starting to put some detail onto the face. This quinacridone gold with a little bit of permanent rose mixed in. Makes a nice flesh tone. For that, adding it to the legs as well as the arms. Putting the shoes in now, using some permanent rose again. Like nice crimson coloured shoes, which were then used in the shorts. Secret to cartoons is to keep the colours very minimal, and just sort of repeat the colours through the painting. It also adds to the harmony of the whole thing. What I like to do is let those colours dry, and then in a minute you'll see me go back in and I'll just strengthen up some of those tones around the main character, which is Sam on the chair, and it helps to draw you out of the background, so you see the main character when you first look at the cartoon. Big hint to the viewer, really, I guess, by darkening all those colours. I like drawing swivel chairs. I don't know why. There's something kind of therapeutic about drawing a swivel chair. The wheels and the shadows and the shading. It's lovely light against dark, dark against light with watercolour, and you can really make good use of that with the legs of a swivel chair. Don't ask me why. It's a weird thing that we have there. On the right hand side there, just adding some more blue to the painting and filling in some of the detail, like the fridge handle and the label on the packet of tea. Got some very odd cups at Hospital Radio. They're all sort of donated cups, so all different shapes and sizes. I like the drawing style of my cartoon in this. I like the geometric shapes. They're quite pleasant to look at. And they also sort of lead the eye to where it needs to go. It's like a big arrow shape, the shelf pointing to the microwave, which then points to Sam holding the paper aeroplane. A few movement marks around the chair as well that I'll fill in with background colour to give a hint that everything is moving. And Sam is, well, he was rotating as we pushed him, which... Again, probably not the most sensible thing to do, but we're on Hospital Radio and we just get a bit carried away sometimes and enjoy it. So the painting's dry. Always let the painting dry before you start adding extra detail to it. So here we go again, like I said earlier, going over those tones again in a nice dark fashion, bringing the character right out of the painting. Permanent rose on those shorts and shoes. The grey I made by mixing all three colours together, cobalt blue, permanent rose and quinacridone gold. It's a good skill to... Colour mixing is a good skill to sort of get into, and I like to sort of occasionally do colour mixing. I might do a video on that. So there you go. That's the bit I enjoy the most, doing the chair. Weirdly, out of all of it, the shadows and the contrast, that's what I love. Painting's finally dried, and now I'm going in with a coloured pencil. I've kind of found this as a nice technique for cartoons recently. I used to use pen and wash all the time. I find that can be quite harsh sometimes, and so just a sort of a toned pencil line in the colour of the object you're drawing around, it really helps the cartoon. And sometimes I'll do a little bit of shading as well to add some texture to the top that you're looking at, or the trousers or the shoes, or to add a shadowy element to the painting, just to give it a bit more depth. Again, concentrating that mainly on where the action is in the painting, to help the viewer find what you want to say in your picture. And there you go, just going around the chair again. I'm obsessed with the chair. I love drawing chairs. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please click the like button. If you're a bit more daring, do the subscribe, and you'll get notifications of when we post a new picture. My favourite bit now, taking away the sellotape so that you can see the white image around the edge of the picture. And that's my picture finished.